Hello traders, hi guys, welcome to Technical Thursday. It's the update of the week, the second for this week's shortlist of charts, and my name is Dima. Thank you for joining me once again. If you're following me this week with the shortlist that we've got, let's have a look as always where we are in the markets. We have another news day today, following on from Tuesday and Wednesday. And I'm going to go through the charts once again, and let's see where we are at and where the next opportunities lie. As always, let's start with the calendar first of all, just to remind ourselves what we've got going on today and tomorrow for Friday, the rest of this week. Here we are on the economic calendar for today, September the 14th, Thursday. We have had, during Asia session, some minor news from Japan. We did have unemployment rate from Australia there. We had, what else was there that was worth mentioning? Nothing else worth mentioning, but New York session, we do have initial jobless claims, so watch out for that on the dollar. There's some PPI figures, that is medium news, and retail sales as well. Those are the two big ones for today. What else do we have? Everything else is more of medium impact. And then tomorrow, also medium impact on yen and dollar. We have some import-export prices. But for today, we do have New York news. And again, let's continue on from where we left off in the beginning of the weekend, Tuesday, and see where the charts match up. Right, here's our shortlist for this week. Let's go through it, starting with the dollar. As always, here we are, marked up our zone, and we are kind of stuck in a range at the moment. This is what was expected, and this is what we've got at the moment. We are in this daily range. Let's have a closer look on the 4-hour. See this range, and we're going to wait for the news to hit. And this is still the idea. Let's see if we get another hit to these lows, or we break higher. This would be the next significant break higher, and if that is the case, then this, which was a plan B, the alternative scenario, would be the idea. The invalidation becomes this low here. So not expecting for now the dollar to head lower, but if it does, then that would signify a change of the structure in the market. So let's begin with the charts that we were looking at. Bearing in mind the dollar, here was the idea. The last high hasn't yet been broken. Again, we have seen the same inverse correlation of the dollar, the euro dollar here playing around, ranging in this area. We're looking for a break of this low, which we had, and now we're back into the range. So the next low I'd really want to see broken is still bearish with this low, and this would be the idea. So if there was an entry for you somewhere here, this is the last invalidation point. The next idea would be a break and some kind of pullback, since there was no clear reversal price action here. However, you never know what the market will do. Just wait for that. So that's the bearishness on the euro dollar. Let's wait for that. There was news earlier on in the week as well. And now we have dollar news once again. Let's see if the news pushes the market price down. New Zealand dollar. Now, New Zealand dollar, the interesting thing is we broke multiple highs here once, as you can see. Once from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here. What that means is that we are constantly creating higher highs, and now, since we've gone higher, this whole idea would now be invalidated. We can look on the daily, and you can see on the daily that is, here we have an inside bar, bullish bar, and today we'll see what happens. And we'll wait for the closure, but for us to reconsider there to be bearishness once again would have to be a break of this day, which is the last clearly swing, but going to now leave this one alone because we are creating higher highs and not having any sign of bearishness returning, and the idea was invalidated twice actually. So no longer really weak unless we'll see some kind of change. At the moment, the preference, the high probability is to stay away. That's New Zealand dollar. All right, dollar yen, once again, similar thing. It didn't dip lower. We moved high instead, broke this level, and now we are in this zone. So we do have a retracement. Let's see if we do get, let's remove this, no longer valid. So this is the low, the reference low. Let's see if we do get another perhaps spike lower or not, I don't know, and then move higher. And if we don't, the alternative would be now this level. Okay, so this would be the other possible scenario, break of this high here, and then heading higher. Let's see how the news plays out, whether we get a spike lower as well. Of course, we want to see a better price. That will be the preference. At the moment, we are kind of stuck in this zone. And perhaps news will push it higher or push it lower or range, we don't know. But we'll just wait for these two scenarios to play out before considering an entry. Okay. Here's what it looks like on the daily. We've had this swing, we've broken higher, yesterday closed higher, and this is where we're at the moment. Okay, CAD yen, a similar thing to dollar yen. We did expect higher price, which we did get. So Tuesday closed higher, Wednesday again closed higher. We did look at this idea, which is now what we're having. Break of this structure here, break of this structure, moving higher, pulling back. We've had this pullback and now heading higher gradually. So this is indeed what we expected, what we're anticipating, I should say. And then this is what we're getting. So continuation would now be the next swings, and that would be the scenario. The invalidation point from here would be the low, so if the market moves below this last low here, and then would not consider this as a buy scenario anymore. We have had a very significant push higher now from Monday, and now let's see if that continues as anticipated. I believe that perhaps there was a zone here, if we marked this out earlier in the week, and either case, here's that pullback and continuation. Let's go to the next one. We have Euro Pound. So Euro Pound continuing on the bullishness idea, bullish days since the beginning of the week, and I would look at this day, this pin bar, as a fake move, as a kind of a trick, and an impulsive, a lollipop, if you like, for traders to catch them into the sell idea. However, we have a bias to go long. So here is that level, and now we're in that level. Then this would be the anticipated next possible swing. And now that we have had this scenario playing out, the break, pullback, and then continuation, the next point would be break of the next structure. Once again, pullback and continuation after getting a better price. Yeah, that's the idea here. Invalidation now becomes the last obvious swing, which is here. So let's mark that. And that is where we are at on euro pound. Continuing on the buy scenario. So we got the scenario here. If we're invalidated, the market runs lower. This is no longer a buy scenario. And if we are looking for the next opportunity, then the next opportunity from where we're at the moment is through this high, pullback, and continuing higher once we get a cheaper price. We are going to be buying at an expensive price. However, we're still bullish. We're still yet to reach our initial target. And we are on Thursday. We still got tomorrow, Friday as well. Let's see how we go. And that is the idea for scenario for euro pound. Let's carry on. Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand's looking interesting. We are now at the area of reversal that we were looking to enter. We have our invalidation idea here. And now, let's go to the lower time frame. It seems that we are having a reversal. Now, the higher risk entry would be here at the moment at a very cheap price, as we are getting this reversal sign, pin bar, and we are going to see if we actually have the reversal pattern. It's not yet confirmed, but this is the last swing to the high. And the idea, this was the initial idea, which we're now developing, would be then a break of this high. You can delete that now. We have this new reference point. Break of this high. Pulling back to a better price, as always. And we have a juicy risk to reward idea over here. We have this as the first target. And then the ultimate highs here, it's already marked out as the next target. And you can also see we have a bit of a level here. That would be interesting if we get this momentum push higher to the upside, breakthrough with momentum, with big bullish candles, and then move lower. Now we can delete this zone. And what we've got here is a scenario playing out and all the parameters marked out. Let's see whether we are now going to get that move. And finally, this retracement will end and we will head back in to new highs or break of these significant structures. As you can see, all of these structures to the left. And that's the pound New Zealand. Looking good for now. Oil, this is one we looked at, which was a little bit trickier, a little bit more uncertain. So we didn't get that push lower. We haven't broken lower. We just get moving higher and higher and higher. It is Thursday. Typically, oil moves during Wednesday and Thursday when oil numbers come out. And since we are moving higher, well, what we want to see is a breakdown. First scenario was this breakdown. So the breakdown would be below this new level now, because this is a new swing. Or if it moves higher and breaks through this whole number, then this would be the next scenario to look for. So those are what the probabilities are showing. At the moment, it's uncertain. We're just in that bullish trend. Don't want to be buying it in an expensive price. As you can see, we have had this quite obvious trend line develop. So really want to see a break of trend line, break of this structure, and then for something like this to happen, as anticipated before, considering a possible place to sell. And this would be an idea to sell from. So far, neither here nor there at the moment on oil. And finally, last but not least, gold. As anticipated, here was the, let's go on the daily just to be clear, the close, the pullback, and then continuing to the downside. This is what gold has done and came right back into the zone and rejected off it. As you can see, the invalidation point will be in the last swing here. And now that we are breaking lower below this low, then the next validation point would be here. And now that we're looking to head lower, once we break with conviction through this low, then the next idea would be the following swing. So the swing after that would be this possibility. So we have a bit of a zone level developing here. Break, pullback, continuation. Of course, this would be a worse price than this because this is higher, but even though we're getting at a cheaper price, we've still got a fair distance to go to the next target. So this is still worthwhile. And let's see, this will be the first target and this will be the second one, the obvious lows over here. As you can see, we're just following along, going along with what the market is saying. Do leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you want to share your charts, you're welcome to as well. Hope you're enjoying this video and the breakdowns for the week. That's where the market is showing us for the moment in terms of analysis. Let's see if we have this follow through. It all depends really on the dollar. We have the news later in the afternoon in the New York session, depending on when you're watching this video. Hopefully you're catching it on time, and then we'll see where we follow through with. So back to the dollar here, and yeah, let's see how the news develops, and that will give us a better picture. Let's see if there is a volatility, and it may take half an hour typically, just giving it a bit more time after the initial news release point, once the market settles down. All right, guys, so go to the economic calendar to keep yourself updated with that. And on the website, we have up-to-date daily releases on the blog and articles that'll give you updates on the market. So thank you very much for joining me. Have a good trading week for today and tomorrow. And if you're not trading, then I will see you next week once again for the breakdown of the week and some more charts, some more high probability setups for the next week as always. All right, guys, bye for now and have a good trading day and week.